Hello, welcome to this week's Investment Trends, where we discuss the latest news in the stock market and the economy. So for this week, the government is still shut down as the Senate struck down the vote yesterday to try and get the government reopened. So therefore, we saw a lot less economic data to digest as the reports have not been coming out. However, this week was full of financials and bank stocks reporting earnings. So the two big winners on the week, we had JPMorgan, which once again beat earnings expectations. And for the third quarter, they reported a $14.4 billion net income. We saw Goldman Sachs also beat their earnings expectations, and these two banks stated that they are seeing a lot of mergers and acquisitions getting done and financing and lending picking up with a lot of their customers. This was something that was anticipated as the new administration came in and they were going to start to lessen regulations on things like mergers and acquisitions, and it's starting to show in these companies' earnings reports right now. However, we did see a little bit of uncertainty as we saw regional banks start to take a dive on Thursday. So on Thursday, we saw the stock market retreat to pretty significant levels, and we saw the financial sector in particular get hit relatively hard. There is a little bit of concerns around regional banks and some of their creditworthiness, as we did see two banks that lend to the auto industry go bankrupt. So that was obviously a cause for concern on Thursday. However, we did see most of those stocks rebound on Friday, and we saw local bank Fifth Third report a strong earnings report, and their stock was actually up 2% on Friday. So Friday, it looks like the week is headed for a slight gain as we close out the remainder of the week. There are still talks between the U.S. and China and how those might shake out as we're continuing on a lot of these trade negotiations. So that is still to be determined what could be the outcome there. However, we are heading into, at the back half of the month, we could see the Federal Reserve once again cut interest rates, and that could be another positive sign for the market overall, even though we continue to see the government shutdown linger on day after day. So that's what I've got for this week. If you're following any stocks or any certain sectors, please leave a comment below.